60 tons of frozen shrimp traveling 8,000 miles from Ecuador to Dubai without a single box thawing during the journey. This incredible logistical feat happens multiple times every week, representing one of the most sophisticated cold chain operations in global food transport. What you're about to discover will revolutionize your understanding of how premium seafood reaches international markets while maintaining perfect quality standards that would be impossible just decades ago. This isn't just shipping frozen food across continents. This is precision engineering, cutting-edge technology, and military-level coordination working together to move perishable cargo worth millions of dollars across multiple time zones, climate conditions, and regulatory jurisdictions without compromising a single degree of temperature control. The journey begins in the coastal waters of Ecuador, where some of the world's finest shrimp are harvested from pristine Pacific waters that provide ideal growing conditions for these premium crustaceans. Ecuadorian shrimp, particularly the white-leg shrimp known scientifically as Lithopeneus vanameae, are considered among the highest quality in the world due to their sweet flavor, firm texture, and consistent size that makes them perfect for high-end restaurants and luxury markets in the Middle East. The shrimp industry in Ecuador generates over $3 billion annually and represents one of the country's most important export sectors, with Dubai serving as a crucial gateway to markets throughout the Middle East, Asia, and Europe. The process of getting these shrimp from Ecuadorian farms to Dubai tables involves a complex network of specialized facilities, transportation companies, and regulatory agencies that must work in perfect synchronization to maintain the unbroken cold chain that preserves product quality and safety. Every step of this journey is meticulously planned and monitored, from the moment the shrimp are harvested and processed in Ecuador to their arrival at luxury restaurants and high-end grocery stores in Dubai's most exclusive neighborhoods. Ecuador's shrimp processing facilities are marvels of modern food technology, equipped with blast freezing systems that can drop shrimp temperatures to -18 degrees Celsius within minutes of processing. These facilities operate under strict international food safety standards and are regularly inspected by both Ecuadorian authorities and international certification bodies to ensure they meet the rigorous requirements of importing countries like the United Arab Emirates. The processing plants use advanced individual quick freezing technology that preserves the cellular structure of each shrimp, maintaining texture, flavor, and nutritional value that would be lost with slower freezing methods. The packaging process itself represents a critical component of the cold chain system, with each box of shrimp being sealed in specially designed containers that provide multiple layers of insulation and protection. These aren't ordinary cardboard boxes, but sophisticated packaging systems that incorporate insulating materials, moisture barriers, and temperature monitoring devices that track conditions throughout the entire journey. Each package is coated with detailed information about harvest date, processing facility, batch numbers, and quality specifications that allow for complete traceability from farm to final destination. Quality control at the processing stage involves rigorous testing for temperature, moisture content, bacterial levels, and chemical residues to ensure that every shipment meets the strict standards required for international export. Teams of food safety specialists conduct random sampling and testing throughout the processing and packaging phases, documenting every parameter to create a complete quality record that accompanies each shipment. This documentation becomes crucial when the shrimp reach Dubai, where import authorities conduct their own inspections and require detailed records of the entire cold chain process. The coordination required to move 60 tons of frozen shrimp from Ecuador to Dubai involves logistics specialists who plan every detail weeks in advance, coordinating with airlines, ground transportation companies, customs authorities, and cold storage facilities to ensure seamless transitions at every stage of the journey. These specialists use sophisticated software systems to track weather patterns, flight schedules, and potential delays that could compromise the cold chain, developing contingency plans for various scenarios that might arise during transport. Temperature monitoring technology plays a crucial role throughout the entire process, with each shipment equipped with data loggers that record temperature readings every few minutes during the journey. These devices provide real-time alerts if temperatures deviate from acceptable ranges, allowing logistics coordinators to take immediate corrective action to prevent product loss. The data from these monitors also provides legal documentation that the cold chain was maintained, which is essential for insurance purposes and regulatory compliance in both Ecuador and the United Arab Emirates. The economic impact of this trade relationship extends far beyond the immediate value of the shrimp shipments themselves. Ecuador's seafood exports to the Middle East support thousands of jobs in coastal communities where shrimp farming and processing provide crucial income for families who have worked in the industry for generations. The reliability and quality of these shipments have established Ecuador as a preferred supplier for Dubai's luxury hotel and restaurant industry, creating long-term business relationships that benefit both countries' economies. The moment 60 tons of frozen shrimp leave the processing facilities in Ecuador, they enter a precisely choreographed transportation sequence that begins with specialized refrigerated trucks designed specifically for transporting frozen seafood over long distances while maintaining exact temperature control. These vehicles are not standard refrigerated trucks, but purpose-built cold chain transport systems equipped with redundant cooling units, backup power systems, and continuous temperature monitoring that ensures the cargo remains at exactly -18 degrees Celsius during the journey from processing plant to airport. The trucks themselves represent significant technological achievements in mobile refrigeration, featuring insulated cargo compartments that can maintain stable temperatures even in Ecuador's tropical climate where ambient temperatures often exceed 35 degrees Celsius. The refrigeration units use advanced compressor technology and environmentally friendly refrigerants that provide reliable cooling while meeting international environmental standards. Each truck is equipped with GPS tracking systems that allow logistics coordinators to monitor the vehicle's location and temperature status in real time, providing immediate alerts if any issues arise during transport. Loading these trucks requires specialized procedures that minimize temperature exposure and ensure proper weight distribution for safe transport. Trained loading crews work quickly and efficiently to transfer the frozen shrimp from cold storage facilities to the refrigerated trucks, using protocols that limit the time cargo spends outside controlled temperature environments. The loading process typically takes place in refrigerated loading docks that maintain cold temperatures and protect the cargo from ambient heat during the transfer process. The route from processing facilities to Guayaquil's José Joaquín de Olmedo International Airport is carefully planned to minimize travel time while avoiding traffic congestion and road conditions that could delay the shipment or compromise the cold chain. Logistics coordinators work with local transportation authorities to identify optimal travel times and routes, sometimes arranging for police escorts when necessary to ensure on-time delivery to airport cargo facilities. Upon arrival at Guayaquil Airport, the frozen shrimp enter one of South America's most advanced air cargo cold chain facilities, where specialized ground handling crews trained in frozen seafood protocols take over the transportation process. These facilities maintain controlled temperature environments throughout the cargo handling areas, ensuring that the shrimp never leave refrigerated conditions during the transfer from trucks to aircraft cargo holds. The airport's cold storage facilities are equipped with blast chillers and freezer rooms that can accommodate hundreds of tons of frozen cargo simultaneously, providing backup cooling capacity if flights are delayed or rescheduled. These facilities operate under strict international food safety standards and are regularly inspected by aviation authorities and food safety agencies to ensure compliance with regulations governing the transport of perishable cargo on international flights. Ground handling procedures for frozen seafood involve specialized equipment and trained personnel who understand the critical nature of maintaining temperature control throughout the loading process. Cargo handlers use insulated containers and temperature-controlled loading equipment to transfer the shrimp from ground storage to aircraft cargo holds, minimizing exposure to ambient temperatures that could compromise product quality. The timing of these operations is crucial, with cargo typically arriving at the airport just hours before scheduled departure to minimize the time spent in ground facilities. Flight schedules are coordinated months in advance to ensure that aircraft with appropriate cargo capacity and refrigeration systems are available when needed, and backup flights are often arranged to provide alternatives if weather or mechanical issues cause delays. Documentation requirements for international seafood transport are extensive and must be completed with perfect accuracy to avoid delays at customs checkpoints in both Ecuador and Dubai. Each shipment requires health certificates, export permits, quality inspection reports, and detailed manifests that specify the exact contents, quantities, and temperatures of the cargo. These documents are prepared by certified agencies and must be endorsed by government officials before the aircraft can depart. The selection of appropriate aircraft for this cargo is critical, with airlines using wide-body jets equipped with temperature-controlled cargo holds that can maintain frozen temperatures throughout long-haul flights. These aircraft feature advanced environmental control systems that can maintain different temperature zones within the cargo hold, allowing frozen seafood to be transported alongside other types of cargo that require different environmental conditions. Airlines specializing in perishable cargo transport employ crews who are specifically trained in cold chain management and emergency procedures for dealing with temperature control failures during flight. These crews conduct pre-flight inspections of cargo hold temperature systems and carry backup cooling units that can be deployed if primary systems fail during the journey to Dubai. The route planning for these flights takes into account prevailing winds, weather patterns, and airport capabilities at potential emergency landing sites to ensure that if unexpected situations arise, the aircraft can land at facilities capable of maintaining the cold chain until the journey can be resumed. Flight crews receive detailed briefings about the cargo they're carrying and the critical importance of maintaining schedule adherence to preserve product quality. Once airborne, the 60 tons of frozen shrimp are protected by some of the most sophisticated aircraft cargo hold environmental control systems ever developed, featuring redundant cooling units, advanced insulation materials, and monitoring systems that can detect and respond to temperature variations within minutes. Modern wide-body aircraft used for perishable cargo transport are equipped with cargo holds that function essentially as flying refrigerators, capable of maintaining precise temperature control at altitudes where outside temperatures drop to -60 degrees Celsius and cabin pressure changes constantly throughout the flight. The environmental control systems in these aircraft cargo holds operate independently from passenger cabin systems, using dedicated cooling units that draw power from the aircraft's main electrical systems while providing backup power options if primary systems experience failures. These systems are designed with multiple redundancies, including backup compressors, alternative power sources, and emergency cooling procedures that can maintain cargo temperatures even if multiple system components fail simultaneously during the flight. Temperature monitoring throughout the cargo hold involves networks of sensors placed strategically throughout the space to ensure uniform temperature distribution and immediate detection of any hot spots or cooling failures that could compromise cargo quality. These sensors communicate with the aircraft's main computer systems and provide real-time data to the flight crew, who can make adjustments to cooling system settings or implement emergency procedures if temperature deviations are detected. The 8,000-mile journey from Guayaquil to Dubai typically takes between 14 and 16 hours depending on routing, wind conditions, and any necessary fuel stops along the way. During this extended flight time, the cargo hold systems must maintain consistent -18 degrees Celsius temperatures while dealing with dramatic changes in altitude, cabin pressure, and outside temperature conditions that can stress even the most advanced environmental control systems. Flight crews monitoring the cargo during the journey follow strict protocols for temperature management, conducting regular checks of system performance and cargo hold conditions throughout the flight. These crews are trained to recognize early warning signs of system problems and can implement corrective measures before temperature deviations become serious enough to compromise cargo quality. They maintain detailed logs of temperature readings, system performance, and any adjustments made during the flight. The aircraft routing for these cargo flights is carefully planned to avoid weather systems that could cause turbulence or require altitude changes that might stress the environmental control systems. Flight dispatchers work with meteorological services to identify optimal flight paths that provide smooth flying conditions and minimize the risk of delays or diversions that could extend flight times beyond the capabilities of the cargo hold cooling systems. Fuel management for these long-haul cargo flights requires careful calculation of the additional power requirements for operating cargo hold environmental control systems throughout the journey. The cooling systems represent a significant electrical load that must be factored into fuel planning, and aircraft are typically loaded with additional fuel reserves to ensure that cooling can be maintained even if flights are extended due to weather delays or air traffic control issues. Communication systems allow ground-based logistics coordinators to monitor flight progress and cargo hold conditions in real time, receiving updates on temperature status, estimated arrival times, and any issues that might arise during the flight. This communication capability enables coordinated responses to problems and allows ground crews in Dubai to prepare for cargo handling based on real-time information about the shipment's condition and expected arrival time. Emergency procedures for cargo temperature control failures during flight include protocols for diverting to alternate airports with appropriate cold storage facilities, implementing backup cooling systems, and coordinating with ground support teams to maintain the cold chain if unexpected landings become necessary. These procedures are regularly practiced during crew training and are supported by detailed manuals that specify actions to be taken in various emergency scenarios. The approach and landing procedures at Dubai International Airport involve coordination with ground control teams who are informed about the temperature-sensitive nature of the cargo and the critical timing requirements for transferring the shipment to ground-based cold storage facilities. Air traffic controllers prioritize these flights for landing clearance when possible to minimize delays that could compromise cargo quality. As the aircraft approaches Dubai, ground handling crews at the airport are already preparing refrigerated transport equipment and cold storage facilities to receive the frozen shrimp shipment. These preparations begin hours before the aircraft's arrival and involve pre-cooling transport vehicles, preparing cold storage spaces, and coordinating with customs officials to ensure rapid processing of the temperature-sensitive cargo. The descent and landing procedures are planned to minimize time on the ground before cargo unloading can begin, with ground crews standing by to begin the transfer process as soon as the aircraft reaches the gate and cargo hold doors can be opened. This rapid response capability is essential for maintaining the unbroken cold chain that has preserved the shrimp quality throughout the long journey from Ecuador. The moment the aircraft touches down at Dubai International Airport, a precisely coordinated ground operation swings into action, designed to maintain the unbroken cold chain that has protected 60 tons of frozen shrimp throughout their 8,000-mile journey from Ecuador. Dubai International Airport operates one of the world's most sophisticated perishable cargo handling facilities, featuring climate-controlled cargo terminals, specialized refrigerated transport equipment, and trained personnel who understand that every minute counts when dealing with temperature-sensitive seafood worth millions of dollars. Ground handling crews specializing in perishable cargo are already positioned at the aircraft's designated parking position, equipped with refrigerated container systems and temperature monitoring equipment to ensure seamless transfer of the frozen shrimp from aircraft cargo holds to ground-based cold storage facilities. These crews undergo extensive training in cold chain management and food safety protocols, understanding that their actions in the next few hours will determine whether 60 tons of premium seafood maintain their quality or suffer degradation that could result in massive financial losses. The unloading process itself represents a masterpiece of logistics coordination, with specialized ground support equipment including refrigerated cargo loaders, insulated transport containers, and temperature monitoring systems that track cargo conditions throughout the transfer process. Each container is equipped with its own refrigeration unit and backup power systems to ensure temperature control is maintained even if primary ground power systems experience failures during the unloading and transport process. Dubai's cargo handling facilities include massive refrigerated warehouses that can accommodate hundreds of tons of frozen seafood simultaneously, maintaining precise temperature control while providing space for customs inspection, quality control testing, and redistribution to final destinations throughout the Middle East and beyond. These facilities operate under strict international food safety standards and are regularly audited by both UAE authorities and international certification bodies to ensure compliance with global food safety requirements. Customs clearance for frozen seafood imports involves detailed inspection of documentation, temperature records, and cargo condition to ensure compliance with UAE import regulations and food safety standards. Customs officials trained in perishable cargo inspection examine the temperature monitoring data from the entire journey, verifying that the cold chain was maintained within acceptable parameters throughout the transport process from Ecuador to Dubai. The inspection process includes visual examination of packaging integrity, random sampling for quality testing, and verification of product labeling and certification documents that accompany each shipment. UAE food safety authorities conduct microbiological testing and chemical analysis to ensure the shrimp meet the country's strict import standards for seafood products destined for human consumption. Quality control procedures at Dubai's import facilities involve sophisticated testing equipment that can rapidly analyze samples for bacterial contamination, chemical residues, and other quality parameters that determine whether the shipment meets UAE food safety standards. These tests are conducted in accredited laboratories using internationally recognized testing methods that provide results within hours of the cargo's arrival. Temperature verification throughout the cold storage and distribution process involves continuous monitoring systems that track cargo conditions from airport arrival through final delivery to restaurants, hotels, and retail customers throughout Dubai and the broader UAE market. These monitoring systems provide complete documentation of temperature control that satisfies regulatory requirements and provides quality assurance for customers who demand the highest standards for imported seafood. Distribution from Dubai's cargo facilities to final customers involves a network of specialized refrigerated transport companies that maintain the cold chain during local delivery to restaurants, hotels, and retail establishments throughout the emirate. These companies use GPS-tracked vehicles equipped with temperature monitoring systems that provide real-time updates on cargo conditions during local transport and delivery operations. The final destinations for these premium Ecuadorian shrimp include some of Dubai's most exclusive restaurants, luxury hotels, and high-end retail establishments that cater to customers who demand the finest seafood available in international markets. These establishments rely on the consistent quality and reliable delivery of imported seafood to maintain their reputations for culinary excellence and customer satisfaction. Restaurant and hotel chefs who receive these shipments conduct their own quality inspections upon delivery, examining the shrimp for color, texture, aroma, and other quality indicators that confirm the cold chain was maintained throughout the journey from Ecuador. These culinary professionals understand that the success of their dishes depends on the quality of ingredients, and they rely on the sophisticated cold chain system to deliver seafood that meets their exacting standards. The economic impact of this sophisticated cold chain operation extends far beyond the immediate value of the shrimp shipments themselves, supporting employment for thousands of workers in Ecuador's shrimp farming and processing industries while providing Dubai's hospitality and retail sectors with access to premium seafood that enhances their competitive position in international markets. The success of this operation demonstrates how modern technology, international cooperation, and sophisticated logistics can overcome the challenges of transporting perishable food products across vast distances while maintaining quality standards that satisfy the most demanding customers. The system's reliability has established Ecuador as a preferred supplier for Dubai's luxury food market, creating stable trade relationships that benefit both countries' economies. Consumer confidence in imported seafood depends on the integrity of cold chain systems like this one, which provide transparency and accountability throughout the entire journey from harvest to table. The sophisticated monitoring and documentation systems employed in this operation provide the traceability and quality assurance that modern consumers demand when purchasing premium imported seafood products. The technological innovations and operational procedures developed for transporting frozen shrimp from Ecuador to Dubai have applications in other perishable food transport operations worldwide, contributing to the advancement of global food distribution systems that make high-quality ingredients available to consumers regardless of geographic location. This operation represents the cutting edge of cold chain technology and logistics coordination that continues to evolve as global demand for premium seafood increases.